Question: would I ever give up wildlife photography? Now, wildlife photography is probably my favorite hobby. I think I would say I really enjoy going out and taking pictures of birds especially. I love bird photography a lot. But I think there is a situation in which I would give up wildlife photography, and that is if I could live in a place which is wild and never go to a city again, and if I could know that the biosphere is no longer being threatened by human activity. In that case, I would absolutely give up wildlife photography, because I think, for me, wildlife photography is probably one of my favorite things to do in terms of hobbies, in the context of being in a city, in the context of being in modern industrial civilization. And it's a very fun hobby. It's very challenging for me. I find it a very challenging thing. So it's stimulating in very many ways, and I enjoy getting beautiful pictures of birds. But I think, really, it serves as a proxy in a way. And it kind of serves as a proxy for what I really want to do, and that would be to spend all of my time in wildlife and doing more things for myself, spending time with birds, but more than just spending time with birds and animals, also doing more things like growing my own food and things like that, and living in a world where the biosphere is a healthy one, and where there's no such thing as human output of carbon dioxide, greenhouse gases, and unsustainable economy that is fundamentally extractive. Within that system, within the techno-industrial system, of course, wildlife photography is my way of taking back a piece of nature and holding on to a piece of nature. I like taking a picture of a bird or taking a picture of an animal or a beautiful landscape. For me, is kind of like holding on, in a way, to that thing which is good. And it's a way of showing the world that there's still something good out there. But the other thing is that if that doesn't exist, if the techno-industrial system didn't exist, if technology wasn't really a thing, or of course technology is always going to be a thing, but the quest and the obsession of modern humanity to develop technology, if that didn't exist, and if the consequences of that, which is mainly destruction and extraction and abuse of the earth, if that didn't exist, then I think there would be really no reason for photography or wildlife photography. And photography is a great thing. I love photography, but I think it's one of the best ways we have of showing the beauty which is out there, that there's still something good in the world. But if their world was different, if that sort of system didn't exist, then I just don't think there would be any need for wildlife photography. I don't think I would personally have a need to pursue photography anymore. That's the same with YouTube. YouTube and writing and stuff I do on the internet, I think, is an absolute proxy activity for something I would much rather be doing, which would be out in nature. I write about nature. I talk about nature, and I try and display nature to show people of the beauty of wildlife. But I only do that because I think people need to be reminded that it actually exists, that wildlife out there is beautiful and it exists. But I would never feel the need to do that if, again, everyone had access to wildlife and had a deep respect for nature. If everyone had a deep respect for nature, then I absolutely don't think anything I do on the internet would be necessary. I don't think any of that. I would be more than happy to give up computers and the internet. It's only a tool to demonstrate to the rest of the world, or to contribute to a demonstration that there is beauty out there in the natural world, that we should preserve it instead of mindlessly developing technology that no one really needs and is only necessary to promote a selfishness that seems to be inherent in human nature, or at least a selfishness that's latent and is activated when we're given such an abundance. We have an abundance of stuff and the ability to extract it, and we have some sort of latent greed, which may be a manifestation of an instinct that is only adaptive in a world of scarcity and is now maladaptive. So long story short is, wildlife photography, I love it, but absolutely there are conditions in which I would give it up, and I would be absolutely happy to give it up if this modern global capitalistic technological system no longer existed. And I hope one day it no longer exists, because I think it's unsustainable. It's absolutely unsustainable.